Hello, welcome and welcome back. It's been a minute and I missed you guys, but I'm so happy to be here. So excited to see you. Oh my goodness. Hello, butterfly and emerging butterflies. Y'all know what today is. It is Thursday, and what does that mean? We are here on Vegas Hype Media for a what? Yes, a uncomfortable conversation. Let's get into it. Um, Per usual, new subscribers, current subscribers, thank you, appreciate you. If you are not one of those, go ahead, like and subscribe now. I would appreciate it. Thank you. Um, I want to thank last week's guests. I missed well, not last week, the week before, because I missed last week. Your girl was like crazy busy in these Vegas streets, being the amazing community affairs coordinator that I am. Had a lot going on. But anyway, I'm back this week, and I just want to say another huge thank you to Miss Nyla Bands, our first generation graduate who did it without any debt. Shout out to her for being available and sharing some tricks and tips as to how she was able to do that, being a first generation graduate for her family. Make sure you check out that video if you have not seen it, to get some of the information that she shared with us. Right. So I'm super excited to be here in the month of June. One of my favorite months of all the months. One of them. The first one is January. Why? Because that's when my birthday is. June is my second favorite because it is the halfway mark to what? My birthday all over again. Yay! I love that. So, on the 6th was my half birthday. So, check me out in January. I'll keep y'all posted on what's going on. But we have been here. You guys have been tuning in for the last 5 months with me. And I just appreciate that, because you could be anywhere, but you chose to be here on Vegas Hype Media to have this conversation. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. In addition to that, June also has some other really cool holidays in it, like what's coming up? Father's Day is the 18th. We also have Juneteenth. And then we also have my other favorite, Pride month. For the entire month of June, we are celebrating Pride, right? So it's a no-brainer that is exactly what we are going to be talking about here this month, on Uncomfortable Conversations, right? I am going to let you guys know that I only have a couple more episodes left. There will be one more full episode, and then we will go into our season finale in July. I'll give you those dates later. But anyway, we are going to talk about Juneteenth and Pride and how they intersect, or if they intersect, should they intersect? I don't know. You guys are going to tell me, and we're going to have that conversation with my friend. But before we jump into my friend, who that is, you guys know I have to give you this disclaimer. As I introduce him, I ask that you come with an open heart and mind to receive full transparency from our guests and allow them the grace that you would want when you are sharing your story, right? Remember that an uncomfortable conversation relinquishes the guilt and shame that one may have so that they can release their side in a tranquil, peaceful place, right? And be able to emerge into the amazing butterfly that they were born to be. So I'm going to welcome JC W. What's up?
What's going on, sister? How you feeling?
I am excellent, boo. You already know. How are
Mm,
you?
I'm feeling good. It's been a productive day, so I feel good.
Excellent, excellent. I'm super excited to have you here. We
Thank you.
conversate on a regular, and what may seem uncomfortable to others is just our normal day to day conversation, right? Because we get into it about everything and anything. So that's what we're going to do here today. Again, as you guys know, there is no precursor to this conversation. There's no storyline that he gets ahead of time to kind of prepare. This is straight off the dome conversation, just things that I think that we need to be talking about. So I'm going to hit you with, first I need you to give me a little spill about who you are, right? Because they need to know who JC is. Tell them who you are and what you do.
Who am I? I am the leader and founder of the Gamer Ally People of Color, which is a gaming group that's centered around the protection of Black and brown queer bodies as they intersect with normative spaces around technology, entertainment, and gaming. I am a big boy enthusiast.
Okay, guns out. Do that again.
Oh my goodness.
Do that again.
No,
Let me see.
I don't want to do it.
No, you got some guns. Let me see.
The upper body is big. So you need to know, hey, it's chunky in person, but it's a different way in a different person, right? So,
yes.
But I am, big boy enthusiast. I am a cook connoisseur. I am working in league with a lot of entities across the country. I'm an ambassador with PrideNet, with Stanford University. I'm working with the city of Las Vegas. Y'all can catch me at the Esports Summit on July 21st.
Okay.
I'm also working in association with some entities to bring North America's First Gaming Festival during Super Bowl week.
Awesome.
So, more details on that later. And then I'm also, very
you busy.
complicated.
You got a lot going
mind.
on. Okay. We only got 30 minutes. We can't do like your whole life history story, all that good stuff. But I appreciate you sharing. Yeah, I'm gonna do you because I only got 30 minutes, and you did try to sum that up. Main character, right here. It be me. Anyway, so we're just gonna go ahead and jump into this because you are a queer person of color, right? Juneteenth is coming up, and some would argue that Juneteenth should solely be focused on commemorating the emancipation of enslaved African Americans and the struggle that they endured, while people would say Pride is centered around the LGBTQ, their rights, and the challenges faced by the queer community. They contend that both can't be in the same space at the same time. But you being a queer person of color, tell me, do you believe there is an intersection between Juneteenth and Pride? Talking to the mic. I know you know how.
I'm going to try. Can y'all hear me? Am I good?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I want to say, and there's, a really simple reason why. When it comes to walking this existence, you don't get to choose. I saw a tweet from Cornel West not too long ago where he was saying that he thought that the passage on gay rights with marriage back in 2014 was an attack and putting Black people in the back of the bus. I'm paraphrasing here. Okay. And this is Cornel West, who's running for president on behalf of the People's Party. But you have to think into context when you take that conversation and you say something about gay rights and Black people into full transparency. We talk about Black people versus gay people in a lot of these subsects of what we're doing with laws, rights, the ability to exist. But the one thing that is harmful in this language that I think, the esteemed Cornel West and a lot of other scholars, when they talk about this narrative, could realize is that Black people are queer too. Black people are gay too.
Right.
So when you say things like Juneteenth is, we should be celebrating Black people, not gay rights, you're then alienating Black gay people, Black queer people by proxy. And what you're really saying, the dog whistle there is, I'm celebrating Black straight rights. This should be about Black straight liberation. Because if we're all the same, gay and queer alike, and we're all Black, Pride and Juneteenth can be celebrated at the same time. Two can be true because that's our existence. We are a part of Juneteenth. We're also a part of Pride. So we can celebrate both. One of the largest, celebrations for Pride is actually in Dallas during Juneteenth weekend.
So you don't think it takes away from the significance? Not that the two aren't very important things that, need to be highlighted. But when you think about Juneteenth and it being specific to slaves being freed, versus the rights of a section of people. How do you feel like those two go together and one doesn't diminish the other?
I feel like they go together in my existence every day because of the strikes I get for it. I walk outside as a black queer man. That's something that, with respect to my cis het brothers and sisters, isn't something that they would ever experience. They don't have to walk outside with the worry of whether or not, slurs because of their orientation will be called upon them, or
Mm-hmm.
whether or not an agenda is being pushed there. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Versus when, you're in the queer experience, that's something that you walk outside with the extra strength, if you will. So when the two come together and I'm thinking about how they correlate, it's like two strikes in my mind, and that's how they come together. And it's bad that we think about it that way, because when I'm in a lot of spaces, that's the conversation I'm not going to have. The conversation I'm going to have is I'm a queer black man, and I'm proud of who I am. I'm going to uplift black people. I'm going to uplift queer people. I'm going to do the
Right.
same as best I possibly can.
So I feel like you should definitely celebrate everything that embodies who you are. But when you bring pride into it, it now takes away the color, right? Which you are a black man. And that's the part that you should be celebrating when you think about Juneteenth. Whereas if you were to bring pride celebration in, now you're bringing every nationality, every race, everybody into it. So I think that that's where the separation that people are speaking about comes into play, because it takes away the focus of who, what, when, where, and why Juneteenth is exactly what it is.
But is Juneteenth an entire month, or is it just a national holiday that we celebrate? You get what I'm saying? So if we talk about, Black History Month is every month, Pride is every month for me. You know, Black History is every month for me. I
I
don't
agree.
compartmentalize one or the other, because I am a walking existence in the fusion of the two. How dare I play Minority Olympics with one holiday over the
Oh, you
other
don't want to
when
play
both are
that?
marginalized?
You
No,
don't like Minority Olympics?
no. What? I'm
Oh.
fat. Like, I want to sit down and eat chips and
But
watch
you could
TV.
win
I
in
don't have time.
Minority Olympics. That's what I'm trying to say.
I live it, so I'm exhausted by default. You know what I'm saying? Like, I live Minority Olympics, baby. And then on top of that, you got to deal with the foreign comments of, oh, what do you mix with? Look at your hair. Can I touch? Like, it's a whole
I know.
nother
I feel
side
like
to
we should go into that. I was going to start there, but I didn't want to. But since you brought it up, what are you mixed with?
I am mixed with Sioux Indian, Native American, Hawaiian, Black, and Italian.
So, first of all, I'm going to correct you because it's Native American, not Indians, okay? We don't
I
say
said Native
Indian,
American.
but you said Sioux Indians.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in
Mm,
tribe, not in, excuse me, Native
thank
American.
you. Correction. Okay? Because I'm for the people. No.
Oh, girl, listen. And it's funny because it's 20, I think it's 28%. But then I get a lot of conversations in Native American spaces, and they're just like, why didn't you go to your tribe and try to officiate? And I was like, I felt like because the dominant gene within my heritage is Black, that I did not want to take up space in Native American spaces. I don't deny that heritage by any means, but I feel like being someone of a mixed heritage and coming into a pure
Mhm.
heritage space that is so sacred and needs to be honored and uplifted as it does in
Do
pure
you feel like
fashion,
you would have
I felt
tainted
like,
it?
yeah, I feel like in a way I would have been taking up space. I feel like where I am in the cause of what I do for minorities as a whole, particularly with Black and in Black queer spaces, that's where I needed to be, because that's where majority of my heritage comes from. And
Is
most
that
of the
from your
time,
mom's side or your dad?
that's from both.
Both of
So
them
it's
have
from both.
Sue?
Yeah, on my dad's side, it is Sioux, Hawaiian, Italian. On my mom's side, it's just Sioux and Black.
That's interesting. And they just happen to find each other somewhere along the road.
Country girl meets city boy, and boop.
Right. So, in what ways do you believe the recognition and celebration of Juneteenth can enhance and support the LGBTQ community?
Allyship
In what
from the
sense?
heterosexual
How?
community.
Don't give me generic answers. Elaborate.
No, that's a very direct answer to the heterosexual
Yeah,
community.
I know,
Allyship.
but I want
Um,
the detail. Break
like
it down.
so
Share.
process. Yeah, small language is, if you're straight and you're Black and you're friends with someone who is queer and Black, show love them during Juneteenth. show affection for the fact that they intersect between more than one identity and that they can't compartmentalize one or the other simply because you associate with one and not the other. Don't try to project your internalized opinion about how the two should intersect on someone who does intersect, because then you're overstepping yourself into a space where you don't associate with an identity but are trying to dictate what that identity should be doing.
Okay. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
With all of the pre-existing issues that Black people, let alone Black men, face, why would you make the choice to be a queer Black man?
I don't. This is just me.
You
I
were
like what I
born this
like.
way? Is that what you're telling
Am I
me?
supposed to be? What
You
you want
Lady
to
Gaga?
handcuff me to a chair and then make me look at videos of straight women, and then anytime I see a queer man and I get hard, you want to electrocute me like Mike Pence was
No,
trying
like
to do?
I'm not trying to shock it out of you. I'm just
Oh, okay.
trying to see. I mean, people would want to know, like, there's so many other things that you can do and be with you being a Black man. And it's not like you don't already have enough issues. You just added like the cherry on the top. You know what? Here I am, world. I'm gay. I'm queer. Look at me. Why would you make that choice?
In terms of how I represent, there are a lot of abused on emotional, verbal, and physical levels Black and brown boys who are ostracized just up until a few years ago, when a man killed his son after he came out and said, I would rather my son be dead than gay, as to why I need to live unapologetically and send a signal to those kids that, hey, it does get better. Please look beyond your situation. And you got champions out here fighting for you so that one day you don't have to worry about whether or not you're going to be killed in your situation before you can live through your situation.
I love that. I love that because I think that everyone has the right to be exactly who they are, the human that, they want to be, and not have to fit into the box or the mold that someone else says, this is what we designed for you, so you need to get in here the best way that you can. So I appreciate that you said that. Now, I'm going to also ask you, have you always been gay? Were you born this way?
For me, I don't think so. For me, I think it was behavior. I kind of deviate, and the science itself deviates, because 10 years ago we had Lady Gaga on the stage talking about she was born this way, and then the argument was that was the science. Now today they're talking about it's a learned behavior. So it's like, I had from the jump been saying I believed that sexuality was a learned behavior. We don't come out of the womb having sex, and we don't come out of the womb already matured from puberty. So because there is a phase in which you must develop into those practices, I think that is the phase in which you develop a proclivity for your identity. They talk about, same-sex curiosity in ages like 6 to 8 with development, I think, according to some philosophies and sciences. And that's always a thing. And then they also talk about some Freudian desires where, kids grow up out of their phallic stage, and then they, they'll fall in love with their mom, but they'll start hating their dad. Boys do that. And then girls may start falling in love with their dad, but hating their mom as toddlers. Like, it's kind of like a thing with them. And then you'll see the hybrid opposites of
That sounds
Darwinism.
aggressive.
But yeah, it's a lot of within the science, though, of what they talk about with behaviors, and then they try to equate that to, oh, that's how the behaviors travel in the queer culture. No, let's not make this that complicated. Let's just say that people become adolescents, and then they find out what they're attracted to through the growth into their adulthood, and then from there, they kind of know who they are.
Okay. Have you been with a woman?
Yes, I was almost engaged to a woman.
Almost engaged. What does that mean? What does that look like?
Okay, so I was young and she got pregnant. And
so you had sex with her too? You put your
Yeah,
P2 in her vajayjay?
Redacted. But yeah, so she got pregnant, and then I found out it was not hers.
Wait, it wasn't hers?
I'm sorry. I'm
like, wait a minute, it wasn't hers.
I'm sorry, it was not mine.
That's some serious gayism right there.
Yeah, it would have been if it was not hers, right? It was seahorses. Nah, but it was not mine. Ended up being this other gentleman that there were rumors about, and she and I kind of ended it. And then
wait. Don't. I feel like you're showing me off. I want to go back to this. So you found out it wasn't yours, but let's go back to talking about the fact if it was yours, were you going to go ahead and marry this woman with the thoughts, or did you already have your thoughts of I'm sorry, I'm gonna use the word gayism because I don't know what else to use. But would you have still married her if you were you having those feelings? Then I guess I need to start there.
No.
You didn't have them until after you found out the baby wasn't yours.
Yeah, it was a choice for me, and then I kind of liked it. So,
Because
um,
you
I
knew
was
you
just
weren't
like,
gonna get no
oh,
guys pregnant.
uh, that too was also
Let me
very
find out you
attractive
didn't want to be a
qualifying.
father. You don't want to celebrate Father's Day?
I want to celebrate Father's Day with my own.
I'm talking about you.
I don't mind being a father, right? But
Mm-hmm.
infidelity, the foundation of that. I'm a Southern gentleman, so traditional values there. It was really a shape of, and this guy was stepping up, and he wanted to be with her. It was a contentious situation, right? So I kind of just bowed out, like, all right, cool. Well, I mean, I don't really have any obligations here. Yeah, this kind of sucks, but I mean, y'all do y'all thing. Y'all need to go be a family. I grew up in a situation where there was baby daddy and then husband. I know what that looks like. And I didn't want that for the kid. I'm not about to, stepdaddy his life up and then it'd be a bunch of foolishness. We don't know the future, So in my eyes, it was just like, listen, I don't even got no dog in this fight. You cheated, you're pregnant, have your
Okay. So
situation. Good luck.
with that being said, what was the trigger that made you choose or decide, or what helped you figure out that, you know what, I don't really like pussy or women like that. I want to try this other hole.
It was a peer pressure situation, kind of, and it was
Mm,
with a local popular figure who I heard rumors about through my very flamboyant cousin, but I did
okay.
not believe him until one night I had to house sit because my aunt and uncle had went to a marriage retreat at their church, which was really big. And this guy's mother also went to this church. She was also a local news reporter and a very big one at that. So uh the guy showed up to the house, and earlier that night, my cousin was talking, and he was just like, "Yeah, such and such gonna come over here." Because I was like, "You gonna have a house party?" I was kind of joking. And he was like, "Nah, but such and such coming over here later." And I was just like, "I don't believe you. I've seen this kid around campus and womanize her."
Wait, when you say I
And
don't
then
believe you, what did he tell you? Because you got to give us all of this. We don't know what happened. What did he tell
so
you?
the cousin was insinuating for a while that this individual who was the news reporter's son was DL. And I kind of was just like, yo, you're full of it. I used to see the kid around, nothing but girls everywhere,
Did he
like
play
cocky,
sports and stuff? Was he like a real jock
all
or
of that,
just?
like all in the mix, like basketball, all that good stuff. And he kept telling me, yeah, it's like that. And I'm just like, nah, I don't believe you. And
So how did
then
your
that
cousin
night,
know?
say it again.
How did your flamboyant cousin know? Did he already get
They
some
had been
from?
messing around. He said that they had been messing around for a while.
Shut up. Go ahead,
Yeah.
continue. Don't shut up. I want to know.
So I looked at the door. I heard somebody at the door, and it was him. And I was just like, "Oh, this is for real."
Like, did you go
And
hide and watch or like listen to them mess around to
I was
confirm?
actually, I was working on schoolwork because we were at the end of the semester, and at the time I was in my first year of college, and I was working on a project at the computer, and then I kind of like I had to go to the store because it was also my birthday weekend, and I had to pick up some food because I was having a party. So he was just like, "Yeah, I'll take you," because I walked over because my apartment was across the street from my grandmother's house, and that's who I was staying with at the time.
Okay.
So he was like, "I'll take you to the store. It's no problem. You don't have to walk to your house." So we got in his car and we left. And when we left, it was like 11 o'clock. And I was like, "Gosh, your mom's on TV." And then Walmart was this way. He turned this way. And I was like, "Walmart's the other way." And he's like, "Yeah, I got to stop by my house real quick." So as he's kind of talking, we get to his house and he's like, "We got to be quick. My mom is going to be here soon." And he pulled down his pants. And I was just like, oh. And my heart was beating so
How old were you,
fast.
please?
Huh?
How old were you?
I was like 20.
And this man pulled his pants down in front of you, and you thinking in this moment still that you are heterosexual. I'm into women. He pulled down his pants, and you was like, I changed my mind.
Nah, in that moment, I had already been like, since I had broken up with, my ex, I was kind
Okay.
of like, it was choice at that time of, oh, let me, test the waters, which is how I found out my cousin was messing with this guy, because I was kind of learning my curiosity through his flamboyance. To which then I found myself in a situation with his jump off, who I thought was aggressively straight. So I was just like, man, what? And then the next thing stuff started happening, and it was kind of funny because he was really considerate, and he just stopped in the middle of it. He was like, "Are you sure this is your first time?" And I'm just like, "Oh, this is kind of ghetto." So I kind of like stopped, and then that whole thing turned into like
Stop
a
what? What
drama
were you
fest.
doing?
Stuff, uncomfortable
I don't know what
conversations.
stuff is. You're gonna have to tell
It's
me.
just
I never did
doing.
stuff before, and I have given birth to 4 children, so I never did no stuff. I know what I did do. So what did you do?
I was about to say, did God impregnate you, or what happened there? You said you haven't did stuff before.
No, I didn't do stuff. I
Oh,
actually had intercourse. So what did you do?
oh, okay. I was doing pre-game. Let's
What's
call it that.
pregame? You was eating Tic
Pre-game
Tacs,
is. I was just being
keeping your
spicy.
breath fresh.
I was
Mm.
doing I was taking my temperature.
Oh, oh, were you hot? Clearly.
Yeah,
Okay, we can carry on.
the thermometer was kind of high, so yeah, it was up there. So,
I can't.
and
Well,
then
and then it was
yeah,
just on from there, and you were just, this is it. This is for me. I'm done, and you've just been that way ever since.
it was kind of a journey. The journey kind of came to a head when a really good friend of mine got killed at Norfolk State University in a hate crime,
Uh-huh.
and that's when I kind of crossed over by default. At that time, I had self-hate. I
Crossed
was
over.
very
Okay, wait,
like,
wait, wait. You got to keep this aligned for my butterflies and myself.
okay, got it.
You came to a halt in the sense that you stopped, or how? What? Help me, please.
I was active, but I was, what they would have called back then DL. So I
Okay.
was in the head nodding, you got something in your eye, meet me in the bathroom type phase.
Did you just
Uh,
blow? Did you go?
that's kind of how it went. Yeah, that was some of the signals. Like it was how it was at that time. So
Uh
it wasn't
huh.
like it is today. Back then, it was the gay guy at school got aggressively bullied and beat up all the time. We were in that phase, right? So it's at that time it was, oh, well, if you were doing something like that, you needed to keep a very low profile, and I did that. But I had friends who were queer and out, and we were in the movement unknowingly at that time of our coming of age as queer people in the
Oh crap.
postmodern world.
Okay. Pause. Really quick. Parents. What did they say when? Did you tell them?
My mother and father,
They
my
knew before you.
my father's passed, and my mother, we don't talk about it, or she doesn't know. So it's kind of like it's
She
one of
don't
those. Well,
know.
she knows now. I
Oh,
recently said something to her like a couple of years ago because she was trying to be my mother, and I was
send you
just
a
like,
girl. She was gonna hook you up with the girl from church. It
well,
was a good girl.
long story there, but the short version is last year I
No,
did an event for
I don't
my
have the
mental
short
health
story. We
series.
got to talk about the short story later because we're out of time. That's our 30
Oh.
minutes. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for participating, JC. Do not hang up or disconnect. I need pictures afterwards. My butterflies, I appreciate you. Love you for tuning in. You know where you can find me. Not next week, but the following week on the 29th. That is going to be our last full regular episode. And then in July, we'll come back with a wrap up for the season. So thank you guys. I will see you in 2 weeks on the 29th, where right here, Vegas Hype Media, with none other than me, Emergency.